Right. Good afternoon, everyone. What is the last topic? Test cases. Okay. Online students, is it the screen is visible? Online students can respond in the chat window. All the online students can respond in the chat window. Okay, right. So let's complete that particular design techniques. We have been taking care about in writing that particular test cases. While writing with the test cases, we need to be taking care about that particular design techniques. Let's understand. First thing we have to take care about in writing with test cases. What is the meaning of test cases? Meaning of test cases. How to be tested. Previously, we have been done with scenarios. What is the meaning of scenarios? Meaning of scenarios. What need to be tested. So the one I will be taking with the scenarios and then taking with test cases here. So while writing these particular test cases, we need to be taking care about entry criteria and then exit criteria. Meaning of entry criteria? Meaning of entry criteria? Reference documents. Meaning of exit criteria? Result or output. Considering this particular test cases as part of the test cases for entry criteria, what is the first document need to refer? What is it? Approved test plan. We need to be refer approved test plan. What is the next document? Approved SRS. We need to be refer approved test plan and then need to be consider approved SRS. What is the next one? Approved FRS. And the next one? Approved test scenarios. After that, test case guidelines. After that, test case template. So we need to be considering that, following the test case guidelines, and need to be taking care about that particular respective test case template here. We need to be taking care about referring with these particular entry criteria. By referring all these particular things, we need to be start documenting with test cases. While documenting that particular test cases, we need to be taking care about template. Having that particular template, we have been started documenting with the test cases here. Referring with SRS document, referring with scenarios, taking the template, and then started documenting all that particular test cases here. Okay. So now, while documenting these particular test cases, we need to be taking care about and following with some guidelines here. What is the first guideline need to be followed? Test case steps maximum count should be 20. Don't be confused at all. It's not like test cases count. Test cases, you can write a number of test cases. That doesn't make any problem. There is no limit at all. Test cases, you can write a number of test cases. There is no limit in that. As part of that particular functionality, you can take care about in documenting that particular respective test cases here. Okay. While documenting that particular test cases, the steps what you are writing, we need to be see that not like having more than 20 steps. It is not like in a condition or it is not like in a rule. It's not like in a condition or it's not like in a rule here. According to the guidelines of the test cases, it has been suggested that according to that particular test case guidelines, it has been suggested that need to be get maintained that particular 20 step. In case functionality is demanding need to have more than 20 steps, we can write with the more than 20 steps also. But need to see the possibility where we can divide into two different test cases or where we can reduce that particular respective steps here. So that is what we will be taking with test cases here. Okay. Following with first guideline. What is the next one? What is the next one? Need to be get avoid in writing duplicate test cases or duplicate test steps. We need to be get avoid. We need to be get avoid in writing duplicate test cases or considering the duplicate test steps here. So we need to be get taking care about always writing that particular unique functionalities here. And after that, what is the next one? What is it? Spell mistakes. We have to take care about all that particular spell mistakes here. Because as we are writing with the test cases in the Excel file, we need to be get taking care about. We need to be get taking care about writing all that particular spellings in the correct way here. And after that, we have to take care about easy, understandable. Whatever the steps have been written, whatever the terminologies have been written, you need to be get taking care about in having with easy, understandable. While writing test cases, we need to be get taking care about these particular guidelines here. Along with that, particularly writing with the text boxes. Whenever you are testing with text boxes, username text box, password text box, credit card number, anything, as part of that particular application, it can be any kind of text box. As an example, we have been mentioned with age text box. As an example, we got mentioned like age text box. This particular age text box need to be get accepting with the numbers. Numbers starting from 1 to 100. Just a requirement we got considering that is the one text box we got which is accepting with the numbers of 1 to 100. So we need to test that. For testing, entering each and every number and confirming that working or not. That is one option, but not like very easy to test with. Not like any very easy. Okay. So not like in a very easy in testing with. By entering with each and every particular number, we cannot test that. Rather than that, we need to be get taking care about. And following with some design techniques. In that, the one I will be mentioning that, ECP. The one I will be mentioning that, ECP. Mentioning that equivalence class partitioning. We got different techniques here. In that, the one I will be mentioning that, ECP, and another one BVA, and then we got state transition, and the last one decision table. These are the 4 design techniques we got, which we will be considering the black box techniques or black box testing techniques here. We are not worried about white box here. As part of this black box, we are having ECP, BVA, state transition, decision table. In these 4 techniques also, in these particular 4 techniques also, for the interview very regularly, you have to take care about, for the interviews very regularly, you have to take care about ECP and then BVA. These are 2 techniques which we will be considering the taking care about for interview purpose. Not like only interview purpose. Chances are there very regularly you can work with these 2 techniques. What exactly mean by that? How to write test cases for that? Let's understand the first one. What is the first technique we got? ECP. So what is the meaning of ECP? Equivalence class partitioning. Meaning of partitioning? Dividing it, right? So the meaning of partitioning, we can considering the dividing it. I mean, the functionality what we want to be get tested. The functionality what we want to be get tested. You need to be get divide. The functionality what you want to be get tested, you need to be get divide into 2 equal groups here. The functionality what you want to be what you want to be tested, you need to be get divide into 2 equal groups here. In that, the one you will be considering that valid, okay, and then need to be get considering that taking with invalid. The one you will be considering that valid, and another one which you will be considering that invalid. What are all the functionality you want to be tested? You need to be get divide into 2 equal groups here. Now, let's see the understanding. We got age text box. What are the things need to be accepted here? Numbers. It's need to be get accepted with only numbers. That is what you are considering one group. I mean, you will be entering with the numbers and then testing the working or not. At the same time, taking with invalid. What are the things you are considered as invalid? What are the things you are consider as invalid? Which you will be considering the characters, and then you will be considering the symbols, and then you will consider special characters, right? So which need to be get considering the special characters, and then which you will be taking with, which need to be get considering the taking with, mentioning about number names here, which you can consider number names. I mean, which you are entering with the number with characters. It has to be get accept. It has to be get accept only numbers here. Remaining any other things you are trying, it has to give an error message here. This is how you can divide. This is how you can provide this particular techniques. The one you will be considering the ECP. In our application, the example. In our application, the example you can considering the username, password, or enter check-in date, checkout date, or any other text boxes. Maximum of further text boxes. Maximum of further text boxes. Right. Maximum of further text boxes. We can apply these particular techniques here. How you guys need to take the practice. In case of real time, when you are working in the real time, this information also will provided in the requirement document. For example, assume that username. In case of real time, which you will be taking with. In case of real time, you will be having like 5 characters, minimum 5 characters, maximum 10 characters. This is how it will provide in the requirement document. In the requirement document itself, that information also provided, saying that what are the minimum characters and then taking with what are the maximum characters. For now, for the practice purpose, you guys can assume some number. For your practice purpose, you guys can assume some number, and based on that, you can continue in writing that particular respective test cases. How exactly we can write? That particular test cases? For username, we need to be get apply ECP technique. Meaning of ECP? Equivalence class partitioning. Okay. So this particular ECP, we need to be get taking care about valid group and then considering the invalid. So valid username, we are considering the characters. Valid, you are considering the characters. Okay. And then taking with invalid. So what are the things will be invalid? Considering the numbers, considering the special characters, and then taking with considering the symbols. So these things will be considering as a invalid here. The same thing we need to be write. The same thing we can write in a format of test cases. These things also we can considering that. These things also we can considering that, right? These things also we can considering that writing with that particular test cases here. Okay, now we can see here. Let's see that. So we need to be get mentioning that how we can write it. TC 031. Okay. See the steps how we can write it. Let's consider username text box. Username text box requirement is minimum 5 characters, maximum 10 characters. Okay. See the steps as usual. What is the steps you will write? What is the steps you will write? Launch browser, which you will be mentioning about taking with launch browser. Okay. And after that, you will be taking with enter URL, which you will be taking with enter URL. Okay. After that, now we can see that we need to be get mentioning that verify ECP for username. Verify ECP for username. Meaning of ECP? Equivalence class partitioning. Okay. This particular ECP 3.1 mentioning that enter need to be get mentioning about enter characters, minimum characters, maximum characters, that we look into that. According to technique of ECP, we need to be get considering the valid characters, as simple as characters are valid, and then consider 3.2, considering that 3.2, this particular 3.2 mentioning the enter, this particular 3.2 enter numbers, and then considering the special characters, and then it will be taking with symbols. This data you need to try, considering the URL and then mentioning the username. Now see that expected result 3.1, expected result 3.1. This particular 3.1. Now 3.1 means what you are doing here? Enter characters. Characters need to accepted or not? Characters are accepted or not? Minimum, maximum, that you will look into that. According to the technique of ECP, you are looking into the characters has been accepted or not. Now you can see that 3.1, it will be mentioning that user entered characters. User entered characters should be displayed. So considering that user entered characters should be displayed. So whatever the characters are entering, that particular characters should be displayed. Okay. Considering that 3.2. What is the 3.2? What is expected result? What is expected result? No. Error message should be displayed. So error message should be displayed. So this particular one, error message should be displayed. So the one considering the 3.1, that particular 3.1, it has to be accepted. 3.2, error message should be displayed. If you are entering numbers, if you are entering special characters or symbol, you need to be able to see that that particular error message should be displayed. So this is how, according to that particular text box requirement, according to that particular text box requirement, you can continue writing that particular respective test cases. Based on your comfortable, you can take any text box. By your own, you can have one requirement, because for now that information is not provided in the requirement document. When you guys are working in the real time, there is a chance you will be getting all these information also. But for now, as that information is not available, as part of the practice, you can have some number. According to that, you can write with the test cases here. In a similar way, you can apply. One more technique. That you will be mentioning that BVA. You can apply one more technique that you will be taking with BVA. Meaning of BVA? Boundary value analysis. See the name. In the name itself clearly mentioned the meaning of BVA. What is the meaning of BVA? Boundary value analysis. What exactly that boundaries are there? Need to take that particular boundaries. And need to be get accepted. Let's see here. Further, to work with BVA, need to be get. To work with BVA, you need to be get. Apply the formula. Considering that minimum characters and then taking with maximum characters. Minimum values, not like characters, not like number. Depends on requirement. First you can test by entering minimum value. Then you can test by entering maximum value. After that, minimum minus 1. After that, taking with maximum plus 1. So which need to be get considering that maximum plus 1. Minimum values and then taking with maximum values, minimum minus 1 and then taking with maximum plus 1. Okay. Now, whenever you are taking with BVA, need to be get applied. Whenever you are taking with the BVA, we need to be get applied this particular formula. Let's take username only. What is the requirement of this username? Minimum 5 characters. After that, maximum 10 characters. Now we can see that. First, you will test that functionality by entering minimum values. What are the minimum values here? 5. Then you will see that working or not. First you will enter the 5 characters and then seeing that particular functionality working or not. Then you will be taking with maximum value. What are the maximum values we got? What is the maximum values we got? 10. You will enter that particular 10 characters and see that working or not. After that, what is the next one here? Minimum minus 1. So minimum minus 1 means which you will be taking with 4. So minimum minus 1 considering that 4. So that particular minimum minus 1 you will be taking with 4. So once it got enter with the 4 characters, what is expected result? What is expected result? error message should be displayed. Okay. So then you will be taking with maximum plus 1. What you will write? What you will write? 11. So you will enter 11 characters. It will enter 11 characters and see that working or not. So you need to see that error message has been displayed or not. So this is how we got a possibility. This is how we got a possibility in considering the BVA, mentioning the boundary value analysis here. Now, related to this, we can write test cases. Related to this, we can write test cases. Okay. Considering the TC 032. Considering the TC 032. Okay. Now we can see that. As usual, same step. What you will mention? What you will mention? Taking with launch browser. Okay. After that, considering that, enter URL. Okay. After that, verify BVA for username. Verify BVA for username. Okay. In that 3.1, considering that 3.1. This 3.1, considering that enter minimum and then considering that maximum values. You need to get enter minimum values and you have to enter maximum values. Okay. And then consider 3.2. What is this 3.2? What is this 3.2? Enter minimum minus 1. After that, maximum plus 1. So need to get considering that maximum plus 1. Now we can see that you will be taking with URL, which you will be taking with URL and then taking with username. Okay. Expected result. What is expected result? 3.1. Okay. This 3.1. What it has to be mentioned? 3.1. User entered characters, or as simple as, to make it as a common, user entered data. Whatever the data they got entered, so that need to be get displayed. So 3.2 error message, because minimum minus 1. Minimum minus 1 means 4 characters according to our requirement. In case of 4 characters, it has to give an error. What is the next one? Maximum plus 1. Maximum plus 1 means it will become an 11. So 11 also, it's need to be get provided with the error. So these two things you need to be applied. Looks like confusion, but not like any confusion. Concept is very clear. You got 2 techniques. What are the 2 techniques? What are the 2 techniques? One is ACP, another one BWay. 4 techniques are there. 4 techniques are there. Mainly, 4 techniques are there. Mainly, we need to be prefer to work with these particular 2 techniques here. In that, the one you will be considering the ECP and then taking with BVA. So this particular ECP. So this particular ECP. Meaning of ECP? Meaning of ECP? Equivalence class partitioning. The meaning of ECP, considering the equivalence class partitioning. The functionality, what you want to be tested. The functionality, what you want to be tested. You need to be get divide into 2 equal group. The one consider valid and the one you will consider invalid. So what are all the valid things are there? You will make it one group. What are all the invalid things are there? You will be taking with one particular group here. In a similar way, taking with BVA. Meaning of BVA? boundary value analysis. As simple as you have to apply the formula. What is the formula you are applying? Minimum values, maximum values, minimum minus 1, maximum plus 1. If you are entering minimum values, maximum values, output is minimum values, maximum values, output should be values need to be displayed, or that values or data need to be displayed, or the data need to be accepted. Minimum minus 1, maximum plus 1. What need to be done? What need to be done? Error message should be displayed. So this is how you can continue. This is how you need to be get continued, taking with all these particular respective test cases. Okay. So just you can continue these particular things here. So this is how you need to be write all that particular respective test cases. So like this, just you guys take care about looking into the scenarios. According to that scenarios, you need to be get complete writing all the test cases here. So that is what we got, ECP and then BVA. In a similar way, what is the next one we got? What is the next technique? State transition technique. So the next one he got, which you will be considering the state transition technique. So the one you got, state transition technique. In the PDF file, it is printing mistake. This should be maximum. Sorry, this should be, minimum. Not like minimum. That should be maximum plus 1. So this is minimum minus 1. Here that is a printing mistake. It should be maximum plus 1. Okay, done. Now, in a similar way, we got state transition technique. What exactly mean by this particular state transition technique? You can see here, very simple understanding. So what is the meaning of this technique? What is the meaning of the description? Different output for same input. Let's see that. Right. Let's say that. See this particular one, as simple as it is mentioning that different output for same input. I mean, in general, when you are providing with the same input, your output also should be same. As simple as the best example, you can consider calculator. You got to open the calculator and you are performing the addition of 2 plus 2. What will be the output? 2 plus 2. Output is 4. You got clear that result. Again you done 2 plus 2. What is output? What is output you'll get? 4. Okay. You cleared with the result. Again you done 2 plus 2. What is output? Okay. Morning to evening you are doing the same thing. Any change in the output? Because of evening output will be changed? No, right? How many times you are trying it, the output will be the same. Whatever the input have been provided, based on that particular input, that particular output will be the same. But some of the functionalities, there is a chance the same thing when you try for multiple times. The same thing when you're trying for multiple times, there is a chance your output will be different. The best example, you guys are very well knowing about ATM machines. Knowing it? ATM machine. Knowing or forgot? Only Paytm, Phone Pay, Google Pay, WhatsApp, very perfect. WhatsApp Pay, Amazon Pay, lot of pays are there. We are not worried about all that pays. Knowing about ATM machine? Okay. What is the training you are doing? No, at 2 p.m. What is the training you are doing? Software testing. As you guys has been doing software testing training program, you decided that to test ATM machines here. Because nowadays there is no security in the ATM machine also. Then assume that you went for ATM machine. You want to test that ATM machine is working correctly or not. You have been taken your ATM card and then you went for ATM machine. You started doing the testing. You started to test that how that withdraw functionality is working. For that, first you record account balance here. What is your account balance? Account balance. Lot of zeros are there, sir. Not able to explain that many zeros, sir. Month ending, Oh, very perfect. Okay. Whatever it can be, just assume that. Assume that your bank balance is 30,000. Don't ask for Suresh sir here. Assume that your bank balance is 30,000. So how much amount? 30,000. Okay. You went for ATM machine. You done with withdraw. You done with the withdraw of 10,000 rupees. Okay. You have been done with the withdraw of 10,000 rupees. You got that 10,000 cash. You have been taken that cash and then you have been kept in your pocket here. First time, done. Second time, same ATM machine, same person, same ATM card, same PIN number, same amount of 10,000. Again, you done with the withdraw. You got 10,000 cash. So taking that particular 10,000 cash and putting in pocket. Okay. Third time, same ATM machine, same ATM PIN number, same person, same ATM card, same amount of 10,000. Done with withdraw. You got 10,000 cash. Feeling very much happy. Pocket is getting full here. Okay. So now 3 times you've done. Fourth time, same ATM machine, same PIN number, same ATM card, same machine, same person, same amount. What is output? What is output you will get? You will get 10,000 cash. Is there any that kind of ATM machines? Tell me the ATM machine address. Need to test it. You guys need to test. Is that kind of ATM machines are there in Amirpet? Okay. So see the simple understanding. 3 times what you followed. 4th time also you followed with the same step as it is. Makki to makki you followed same steps here. But is that output is same? No. 3 times he got in a cash. But 4th time, what is output he got? What is output he got? Mentioning the insufficient balance here. So that is what he will be taking with state transition testing or state transition technique. I mean, that particular state, it will be changing it. For the first time or second time, third time, it can be same. As part of the requirement, that particular state has been changed it. So that kind of techniques you have been considering the state transition technique. If you want to get understand according to our application, the technique already have been applied. The best example in our application, you want to test with the password. If you are entering with the password, you entered invalid password for the first time. What is output you will get? You have been entered invalid password and clicked on login button. What will happen? You will get error message. Second time also you entered invalid password only. What will happen? Error message, same message will be displayed. Third time also you entered invalid password. What will happen? According to our application, according to our Adactin application, 3 times you have been entered invalid password. Then account should be logged. First time you entered invalid password, it has to display error message, invalid password. Second time also same error message. Third time it will be displaying with error message. At the same time it is mentioning that account has been logged. Best example, your online banking. If you try your online banking password, your net banking password, if you try for 2 times or 3 times, so first time it will say invalid, second time it will say invalid, but third time, rather than saying that invalid, it will be mentioning that that particular account has been logged. So that state has been changing it. That kind of technique. What do you consider? What do you consider? State transition technique. You can mention that state transition table. So this is what we need to be get mentioning, that providing same input for multiple times here. In a similar way, decision table. This is very straightforward. This is mentioning that your input will be the different and your output also different. Based on your input, your output will be displayed. Whatever the input you have been provided, based on that particular input, you will be getting that respective output. As simple as assume that you entered valid username, valid password, click on login button. What will be the output? What is the output? Login successful. You got entered invalid username, invalid password. What is the output? What is the output? Error message should be displayed. So whatever the input you have been providing, based on that particular input, you will be getting that particular respective output. So that you will be considering the decision table. So whenever you are writing test cases, so while writing with the test cases, you need to be taking care about in having these particular things here. I mean, you have to take care about in following that particular guidelines, at the same time in following that particular design techniques. So whenever you are writing with the test cases, wherever it has been applicable, you have to take care about in following with these particular techniques here. So this is what we got a possibility in taking care about designing with the test cases or considering the documenting with test cases. As part of that project requirement, you have to take care about in documenting with that particular test cases. So this is we need to be get mentioning about test scenarios and then taking with test cases. So now take with the new heading and the important one. What is it? What is the new heading? Test execution. The very most important one, a very most interesting one. Having a heading is test execution. Having a heading is test execution. Okay. Now, see the step, right? So we have been taking care about in implementing with STLC. Meaning of STLC? Software Testing Life Cycle. Okay. As part of STLC, what is the first step? What is the first step? Requirement understanding. Okay. After that, test plan. After that, test scenarios. After that, test cases. Okay. After that, test execution. Okay. After that, taking with bug reporting. Okay. After that, test closure. Okay. So as part of STLC, we need to begin taking care about in implementing with these particular steps. Any project you are working, any project you want to be tested, you need to be get followed with these particular steps. In that, the one I will be mentioning about requirements understanding. So this particular one you have to take care about in referring with requirement documents. You have to take care about in referring with requirement documents here. So the meaning is that particular requirement documents based on that project, whatever that particular documents are available. It's not like you are demanding in the project. As part of that particular project, whatever the documents are available, you have to take care about in referring that particular document and need to be understand what need to be tested. Then you will be taking with test plan. Who will prepare the test plan? Who will prepare the test plan? Test lead. So the test lead will be taking care about in preparing with test plan. Then you will be taking with test scenarios. Meaning of test scenarios? Meaning of test scenarios. What need to be tested? So this particular one, considering the high level design, or you can consider the high level document. Okay. Then we need to be get mentioning that taking with test cases. This particular test cases. Meaning of test cases? Meaning of test cases. How to be tested. At the same time, we need to be get considering that low level design. So the one you are taking care about test scenarios and then taking care about test cases. What is the next one? What is the next one? Test execution. Now see the understanding. First thing, scenarios. Meaning of test scenarios? What need to be tested? I mean, you have been documenting it. What are all the functionalities need to be tested? You are referring with the requirement document. According to that particular requirement document, you have been taking care about what are all the functionalities need to be get tested. At the same time, you came up with test cases. Meaning of test cases? How to be tested? By referring that scenarios, by referring that requirement document. Again, you are doing one more documentation as part of that requirement. Now, scenarios test cases. You are referring with the document and then you have been started in preparing it. In a similar way, as a tester, in case of test execution, what need to be done? See that. See the meaning of execution. The meaning of execution, taking with the help of expected result. The meaning of execution, taking with the help of expected result. So the meaning of execution is you will be taking with the help of expected result. Meaning of expected result? Meaning of expected result. Open your notebooks. You are already written that meaning of expected result. Results based on requirement document. The meaning of expected result. We need to be considering that result based on requirement document. The result based on requirement document, we need to be considering that. So this particular expected result, result based on requirement document, considering the expected result. This expected result need to be compared with actual result. Need to be compared with actual result. Meaning of actual result? Result based on application. So the meaning of actual result. Result based on application. So result based on application. So the one it will be mentioning the expected result and the one it will be mentioning the actual result. Expected result based on requirement document. Actual result based on application. Now, the meaning of test execution, the functionality or the job role of the test execution, you have to take expected result, you have to take actual result. Both the results need to be compared. Once you're doing comparison of both the results, if both the results are same, what you will consider? Pass. If both the results are same, you will be considering as a pass. In case of both the results are not same, what will consider? Fail. So the meaning of test execution, you have to take expected result and you have to take actual result. Both the results, you need to start doing the comparison. When you doing the comparison of both the results, if both the results are same, you can consider as a pass. If both the results are not same, you can consider as a fail. Okay. In case of pass, what you will do? In case of pass, what you will do? I'm not talking about exams. Exam sense party will do. But this is testing, right? Testing also party will do. Then you have to celebrate for every day party need to be done here. Okay. Considering that, mentioning that, go with another test case. You need to be considering that. In case of one test case has been passed, you need to be go with another test case. Now, Assume that has been fail. In case of fail, what need to be done? In case of fail, what you will done? Which you will be taking with bug reporting. In case of fail, need to be taking with bug reporting. So this is how we are taking care about. This is how we are taking care about identifying with the bugs here. Till now, did we identify any bugs? No, we have not identified any bugs. I mean, the meaning is at the time of test scenarios and test cases, we cannot identify any bugs here. Once you started test execution, at the time of test execution, we can identify the bugs. Because the meaning of execution, what is the meaning of execution? Meaning of execution, comparison of expected result with actual result. If interviewer is asking, what is mean by scenarios? What is mean by scenarios? What need to be tested? If they're asking about test cases, how to be tested? Asking about execution, comparison of expected result with actual result. If both the results are same, consider as a pass. If both the results are not same, consider as a fail. In case of pass, what you will do? Go with another test case. In case of fail, bug reporting. So how to do bug reporting, that you will understand in the coming part. For now, you have to take care about doing the execution. Now you can understand. If you want to be get, start with execution. If you want to be start with the scenarios, what you record? For writing the scenarios, what you record? SRS document has been required. So in case of test cases, what you record? Scenarios and requirement. Both the things required. In a similar way, if you want to be get start with execution, if you want to be get do with the execution, what do we record? What do you record? Test cases and test scenarios. Once both are available, we will start execution. Then reference documents that is available, we will do. What is it? Test cases and application. Your requirement is need to be get perform the execution. If you want to be get perform the execution, always remember, execution will never done based on the scenarios. Execution will never done based on the scenarios. For doing the execution, taking with test cases. Along with the test cases, what we record? Application has been required. So as simple as, if you want to be get start with the execution, only test cases not enough, only application is not enough. So what we required is, test cases and application. Both the things required. So test cases, you are writing it. Now you require application. So from where you will get the application? How they will provide application? Is that they will make a courier to your hostel address? Mail. In the mail, what you will get? URL. You will be getting with URL. So accessing that particular application, you will be getting with email from the development team by giving with URL. So now you guys make a note of our application URL. So you guys make a note of this particular application URL. Online students also make a note of this particular URL. Just make a note of this particular URL. Online students also make a note of this particular URL. This URL, which is related to Build 1. Currently we are working with Build 1. Okay, meaning of build? Executable file or URL. Okay. Okay, right. So now what I required for tomorrow is, tomorrow means Monday. So for Monday, what I required is, till now you got only requirement document. Now you got application. What is the bill number? What is the bill number? 1. So username, password. What is the username, password you will enter? You have to go with new user registration. You guys complete that new user registration. You will get credentials. Log in with the credentials. Refer the whole application and start writing the test cases. Till now, you written the test cases by referring the requirement document. Continue the same. Write with the test cases by having the application also. Now you got application. Very easily you can write it. You can see the step. What are the steps need to be followed? By referring that particular step, you can come up with test cases here. So by Monday, if you come up with all the test cases, Monday I will explain about test execution and we'll see that how we can identify the bugs, how we can report with the bugs, everything we'll be discussing it. That is what the main important one need to be understand. But before going to that, you have to take care about writing with the test cases. So take care about writing all the test cases by referring the application, by referring the requirement document. So by Monday, if we come up with all the test cases, Monday will take care about testing this application and will identify the bugs in this application. Okay? Clear? This is what exactly were real time. What are the steps we are following? In real time also, you need to be followed with the same thing. So because of that, take care about the practice and writing maximum of the test cases here. Clear? Carry on. Thank you. వర్డ్ ఫైల్ అన్ని కాలమ్స్ మెన్షన్ చేస్తావా? ఎట్లా చేస్తావు? అన్ని కాలమ్స్ మీరు వర్డ్ ఫైల్ లో రావు కదా, వస్తాయి కానీ నీకు సైజ్ కంజెస్టెడ్ అయిపోతుంది కదా. ఇప్పుడు నువ్వు టెస్ట్ కేస్ అంటే టెస్ట్ కేస్ ఐడి ఉండాలి, సినారియో ఐడి ఉండాలి, ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ రిజల్ట్, యాక్చువల్ రిజల్ట్, పాస్ ఫెయిల్, ఇవన్నీ నువ్వు రాయాలి. అవన్నీ నువ్వు రాయాలి అంటే నీకు ప్లేస్ సరిపోదు కదా. దట్స్ ద ఓన్లీ థింగ్. అంతే. డిపెండ్స్ ఆన్ ఇట్. ఫంక్షనాలిటీని బట్టి ఉంటుంది, అంటే రిక్వైర్మెంట్స్ ని బట్టి డిసైడ్ అవుతుంది. ఏదైనా సరే, టెస్టింగ్ అయినా ఏదైనా బేస్డ్ ఆన్ ద రిక్వైర్మెంట్. ఓకే. Monday will understand. బీవీఏ అన్నప్పుడు మీరు ఆ ఫార్ములా అప్లై చేస్తారు. అంటే ఫస్ట్ మినిమం క్యారెక్టర్స్ ఎంటర్ చేయాలి, మాక్సిమం ఎంటర్ చేయాలి, అవి పాస్ అవుతాయి. అంటే నెక్స్ట్ స్టెప్కి వెళ్ళాలి. తర్వాత మినిమం -1, అప్పుడు ఎర్రర్ మెసేజ్ రావాలి. మాక్సిమం +1, ఎర్రర్ మెసేజ్ రావాలి. అది టెస్ట్ చేస్తారు. బౌండరీస్ మాక్సిమం ఫస్ట్ ఆ బౌండరీస్ చేస్తాం. దాని తర్వాత ఇఫ్ రిక్వైర్డ్ విల్ అప్లై విత్ రిమైనింగ్ థింగ్స్ హియర్. మీకు అప్లికేషన్ URL ఇచ్చాను కదా, ఆ URL ఓపెన్ చేసి లాగిన్ క్రెడెన్షియల్స్ తీసుకొని అప్లికేషన్ లాగిన్ అయిపోయి టెస్ట్ కేసెస్ రాయాలి. అంటే మీరు ఆల్రెడీ రిక్వైర్మెంట్ ని రెఫర్ చేసి టెస్ట్ కేసెస్ రాస్తున్నారు. అలా దాంతో పాటు ఇంకా ఎక్స్ట్రా టెస్ట్ కేసెస్ అప్లికేషన్ ని రెఫర్ చేసి రాయాలి. దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ ద టార్గెట్.